Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest and greatest IT Desk podcast with all things technology-related news. That sounded kind of awkward of an intro, but you get the gist. How you
I
doing,
want to.
Joe?
I'm doing good. I just want to say that I really enjoy how you have this like you know thought out, kind of planned out intro to the video.
Oh, no,
That
I do not.
well, no, but you always say like welcome to the latest and greatest. You go from there.
Hmm.
Every time I do it, I just do something different every time, and hopefully I'll find something I like. Yeah, I like that.
All
Haven't
right.
found. I like how you do it.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, how's everybody doing? It's it's a day. It's a Thursday actually. We're recording this a day
Thursday.
early.
Yeah.
But just because we're a day early, there is no shortage on news.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Well, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. But yeah,
Bes-
so let's start with some news about the channel, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. So here on the main channel, we have a new giveaway video that was released on Monday. So you have until Friday to enter that. So you should really do
Mhm.
that. I think actually,
Well, I mean, at this point, it's gonna be uploaded. It's gonna be over.
yeah,
So,
I hadn't thought of that actually, but yeah.
okay, I will, and then this is also gonna be like a weekly thing. I will tell you, a lot of these games are probably really crappy, but they're still free. No, no, but there are gonna be good games eventually, later down the
Yes.
line. We have like a whole long list of things.
I'm pretty sure 90% of these are also like indie games. So good.
Crappy indie games.
Yeah, I mean, supporting some indie developers out there, helping them out.
Yeah, supporting them by buying that $1 bundle. But
Joe.
ready?
All
I'm being
right.
honest.
Yeah,
People will respect honesty.
that is good. Yes.
Yeah.
Andrew's gonna so kill us.
he he's not gonna watch this, so it's okay.
That's true. He doesn't watch our own
Just don't.
videos.
Okay, everyone, we're not gonna tell him, and we'll see. You'll see if he ever figures out. The trick is he won't.
All right. Nobody message him on Twitter or any other platform that he's on.
Please don't.
Don't do that, because we'll be
Yeah.
dead. He'll fire us.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know how he could. I don't know how he could fire me, considering I'm like,
He'd have to buy you out.
That's true. Oh, geez. All right. Let's get off that topic before we have to explain a long story.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
for another time.
Yes.
Okay, but also tomorrow for you guys, we will be having the gaming podcast as usual, but we're gonna be having a special guest.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming Holden's made sure everything's arranged.
Yes. Our PR guy has arranged a lot of things. So go him. Thanks, Holden.
And this, yeah, we are doing the gaming podcast with only level 1.
Yes.
So go check out that tomorrow.
If you're not familiar with him, he's on YouTube and VidMe. He's a pretty small creator right now, but his videos are very top quality.
Yeah, yeah. He's playing only the first level of every NES game.
He's also been live streaming Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been watching that a little bit.
Oh, nice.
It's definitely he's definitely a really unique content creator.
Yeah, yeah. But now, in for our main stories.
Actually,
Okay.
one more thing.
Oh,
You
one
want to
more
mention?
thing?
Yes. The gameplay channel. We released a video last week actually, talking about the new schedule for that. So if you're interested in keeping up with that channel, you can check out that.
Yeah. Now for the actually interesting stuff, the main stories.
Yes. All right. So we got a lot of crazy stuff going on this week. We got cyber warfare is imminent thanks to CIA versus WikiLeaks. Snapchat is doing amazingly well financially despite not making any money with their app. Google takes on mainstream cable with YouTube TV. AMD teases their new CPUs, known as Naples. And Amazon Prime heads south of the border to Mexico. So let's jump in, shall we?
Okay. Now for the big one.
Yep. We're just going to get this big story here out of the way, but WikiLeaks, famous for releasing many documents out onto the internet from our US government. And most recently, they are putting together a thing known as a Vault 7. And Vault 7 is basically everything that the CIA is using in terms of their device hacking toolkit, basically. Now, currently, If you're getting nervous already, don't be, because don't get too worked up, because the actual programs have not been released yet, and a lot of different attachments that have been leaked from emails and things have not been released either. So none of this code or programs are released yet. We'll get to that in a second, but basically what was leaked was a supposed cache of files from an isolated network in the Virginia branch of the CIA. And in it was a slew of day zero exploits in many platforms. Joe, are you familiar with what a day zero exploit is?
I am not. Do tell.
All right, well, a day zero exploit is basically an exploit using a bug in some kind of program that has yet to actually be discovered by the manufacturer and patched. Now, this happened many times on a lot of different computers. For instance, bugs that were in older versions of Windows and then got carried into new versions. Other things like people finding jailbreak exploits on beta versions of iOS, and then those exploits making it into the public version of iOS. Different things, basically things that have gone unnoticed by the company and then can be executed at any time by whether it's modders, like modding a game console, or hackers getting people's data. So basically, what most of these exploits that the CIA has worked on allows them to infiltrate current desktop, mobile, and network platforms, even things like smart TVs as well. So another thing that was leaked is that the CIA has the ability to bypass encryption on apps such as WhatsApp, Telegram, and other messaging platforms. And this is because the message is actually kind of intercepted before it even is touched by encryption and sent, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of exploits that I could go through and name off from the WikiLeaks article, but the WikiLeaks article is over 8,000 pages. So there is a lot that got leaked here. It's currently being considered, I believe, the largest leak in history, which is pretty substantial. So just to name a couple different things, one of them is the Weeping Angels exploit, as they're calling it, named aptly after the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. You ever watch much Doctor Who, Joe?
Doctor Who. I used to really love that, and then with the newest Doctor, I stopped watching.
I made it through a couple seasons. It's just been a while since I've watched it, though. I need to get back into it, catch up.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, again, like after a certain point, I just kind of lost interest.
Yeah,
But it's a good show. I'll
yeah,
probably go watch it again some point.
me too. It's definitely a good watch. Anyway,
Continue, Weeping Angels.
yes. So the Weeping Angels virus is a malware that is designed to infiltrate Samsung smart TVs, of all things, and it makes
I
them.
have one of those.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so basically what this does is it makes your TV appear that it's turned off, and it's actually secretly listening, and basically turning it into a bug and listening through its microphone. So that's kind of scary. And not only that, if the CIA has physical access to a device, they can use a USB device to grab basically any data off of the computer while a decoy program runs on screen to make it look like nothing's going on. Now, like I said, there's a load of different exploits that have been named off here. Many in iOS and Android. The two biggest platforms here in mobile phones. So, a bit scary. Now, it also appears that all of the CIA hacking software and malware and all of these documents are actually labeled as unclassified, which is very interesting. The main worry is that the CIA's prosperity is to hog day zero exploits, which is also kind of a violation of the vulnerability equalities process. That's what it is. Or equity, sorry.
Equities. Yeah.
Yes, the vulnerability equities process, which was put in place by the Obama administration, where the CIA was to disclose any of these vulnerabilities to manufacturers such as Apple and Google and other manufacturers, and say, hey, there's a really big exploit here in your infrastructure, you should fix it. So there's a bit of a gray area with that into where all this falls into. Now, what's also interesting is there was a recent update about a day after this was all released by WikiLeaks, and the Wall Street Journal, a source, has told them that, uh, and they basically backed up these claims and the info that was leaked by WikiLeaks to be legitimate. And it even says that it's far more significant than Snowden's NSA leak. Even Snowden himself, who is not involved in the CIA, believes that this data is legitimate. And on top of all this, um, it's thought that this is possibly because of an inside person at the CIA. That's a kind of a theory floating around because there's not a whole lot of possibility and leeway that it could have been an outside person. So take that with a grain of salt, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And just tonight, actually, I saw on the news, WikiLeaks stated that they are willing to submit, and they want, well, not willing to, they are planning to submit all of this source code to OEMs, such as Apple, Samsung, Google, so that they can patch these vulnerabilities. So, as it stands right now, it's not really, this whole leak, it isn't really kind of a thing of like, oh no, the government's spying on us. I mean, we've known that for a little while,
Yeah.
government, does things, whether in the vein of security and other reasons. But, I mean, we can get into that debate all we want, but it's more of a thing now that we know and everyone knows that there are these possibilities out here in these common systems, the Samsung Smart TV, Android, Google, etc. And that means then that anyone with enough hacking know-how could possibly engineer something similar to this. That's the scary part. So,
Because if they're not like you said with them not sharing the flaws with the companies based on the vulnerabilities equities process,
mhm,
that means that those flaws are just there, and so any hacker who's skilled enough can figure out what to do to get past it.
yes,
And
and
these are problems that we know about and could be fixed, but because they're not doing it.
yeah. In fact, many of the vulnerabilities that were listed on the document had dated all the way back to as earliest as 2013. So some of these vulnerabilities have been in these products for a while now. Now, there is a story we'll talk about here at a later date. Should I just go ahead and skip to that now? It's a little bit further down our document.
You can, yeah, skip to that.
All right. So go ahead and we'll talk about that. Go ahead and put our picture up there because I forgot to. But first off, is we'll talk here about Apple and their response to this CIA hack. Alright, so Apple stated that they are already taking steps to patch these 14 exploits, and that many of these have already been patched in iOS, and the rest that were unaware of they are currently taking rapid steps to fix. Now, an Apple spokesperson who talked to TechCrunch and gave a very long statement. I'm not going to read it because it's very long, but basically, he stated that 80% of iPhone users are running the latest version of iOS, and that they are committed to customer security, and so they just recommend that always keep your iOS updated to the latest version, secure. So pretty straightforward. There's been no word on which exploits have been patched and which exploits already are patched, will be patched, etc., etc. So we're not entirely sure. That's probably a good thing that Apple doesn't disclose that, because if they say that one of them is, unpatched, then that would give hackers a bit of an edge. This is actually really similar to last week's story, where we talked about the bug in Internet Explorer and Edge, and how Google didn't really want to talk about it. Yeah. And lastly, Android recently just came out, or excuse me, Google just came out and stated that, again, many of these have already been patched. And they stated that, because like I said, many of them have dated back to 2013, so many of these have already been patched, and they said they're already working to implement patches and to protect Android users from these latest things. But that kind of raises a flag, because Android is such a huge ecosystem that we have all these different companies developing things for Android, for their phones, and it can get confusing with the way like software updates work, which I could go on a rant right now about Samsung and Verizon and how I'm still running outdated software on my phone, but that's mostly Verizon's fault because so far everyone else I know who has a Samsung Galaxy S7, they don't have Verizon, so they have the Android Nougat update. I'm still running, which is Android 7, and I'm still running Android 6, which is Marshmallow. And that's just because Verizon won't get off their butt and send out the update to everybody. So, and also I'm still running a Android security patch from June 1st of 2016, so that's also annoying. When Android security patches are monthly. So,
Mhm.
mainly that's just kind of a thing against Verizon. They need to get their crap together. But anyway, so yeah. Any thoughts on this whole situation, Jill?
Like this just what to say?
There's just so much to it.
Yeah, in 8,000 pages. I mean, are they talking like the pages of this Google Doc that are pretty small, or
Oh no, these
like,
are very long pages. I actually went through a lot of the WikiLeaks pages and just kind of was skimming through some of them. There's a lot here.
yeah, just and that they were able to like just take this much information, whether yeah, like whether it is from like an insider or just, hacking or whatever they do to get all this information. It is.
From what the WikiLeaks document stated, also they have like a dedicated branch of the CIA to like finding these exploits and things. And I
Mhm.
also forgot about another complete platform that was mentioned. And we live in the age now of smart technology. So one thing that is often overlooked is cars. Cars are getting more and more computerized now that we're
Yeah,
moving in.
yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, and so that I mean, Packers have already demonstrated they can completely like remote control cars through the onboard computer. So that was another thing that was talked about in WikiLeaks as well.
Yeah, yeah, and it said something like they can control cars from like 2014 on or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's scary, but at the same time, and like, and again, this goes into tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist type people, but I mean, who's to say the government couldn't use it if they wanted? And then there's that whole problem. And
yeah.
ugh,
It's definitely a very controversial topic.
you
We could sit here probably for the rest of the show and debate uh,
yeah,
all this.
remember the good old times when refrigeration was cool new technology, and everything was nice and happy and dandy and racist.
Yep.
Those were the days.
And racist. I like how you threw that in there.
You just
Uh,
gotta show. I realized that those times were really crap.
yeah.
Also, air conditioning wasn't necessarily a thing back then.
Well,
Back when,
how's about we advance to a different age? The age when microwaves first came around.
that's slightly better.
Yeah, better then.
Or just like go to the 80s. The 80s were okay.
These were pretty alright.
I mean, I wasn't around, so I
Neither
can't
was I.
say. But I mean, Terminator came out that in the 80s, and that's a good movie. So I'm just going off of that. The 80s must have been great.
Yeah. I mean, home computing came around and the video game market started. I mean, that's
Ronald
pretty good.
Reagan,
Ronald Reagan, too, yeah.
I don't know. He might have been good. I can't say.
Well, alright.
Anyway, let's go to something a little bit more cheerful. Like
Yeah.
people getting rich that's not us.
Yep. So, Joe, I love how you. I know how you love private schools.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit, Joe.
Not
But
even related to this story, just in general.
yes.
And now we got this story.
So, basically, a California high school makes 24 million on the Snapchat IPO. So, a couple episodes ago, we talked about Snapchat going public on the stock market. Well, Snapchat completely surpassed everybody's expectations and is making loads of money from investors. So, basically, what happened here was a Catholic high school in California, Silicon Valley, agreed that they would invest 15,000 in seed money to Snapchat back in 2012. Now, uh, they'd been invited to do so by one of the students' parents, actually, who was a venture capitalist, and they sold 1.4 million of their shares. That is my phone going off, and it's just another community message saying that a road closed. Okay, that's not important. All right, I just threw my phone across the room. Okay, so
Okay,
and I tossed it on my bed. It's okay.
it's okay.
So, um, they were invited by a student's parent to do this, and anyway, they sold 1.4 million of their original shares from that $15,000 during uh, the IPO this week, and they sold them at $17 each, and that generated them $24 million in revenue.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Now they still have 600,000 shares, and that's worth roughly 17 million. The Snapchat IPO is considered to be one of the biggest social media IPOs since Twitter more than 3 years ago. Now, everything's not all, oh, I forgot to change the photo. We're still looking at WikiLeaks. Oh, geez, I'm a horrible host. There we go. Okay, so not everything's perfect though, because many analysts are saying that this influx in their investors is not going to last. So mainly, Snap Inc. has a net loss higher than their revenue. And I mean, if you think about it, Snapchat is a free service. They only now just started putting like very unintrusive ads in Snapchat that only occasionally show up. And
And they
there's
have glasses. Don't forget glasses.
That's true, but I mean, they just started selling those online. I mean, previously you had to get them out of a vending machine. So,
Still don't understand that, but whatever.
I mean, whatevs. But yeah, they ended up, they're currently, losing a lot more money than they are creating from their users. Not only that, user growth has slowed in the fourth quarter of last year, and investors really don't have a clear picture of how the company plans to become profitable. And yeah, there's also a lot of skepticism on how big the company's advertising business can be. So it it's all very convoluted. Snapchat, if you use Snapchat, it's pretty pretty limited on what they can make money on if you think about it.
Hmm.
Um, I mentioned this to Ethan a couple days ago, and he said, "Oh, they're selling your data." But when you actually break it down and think about it a little bit, Snapchat really doesn't know that much data about you. At least not that much that advertisers would care about. So it's
Yeah, it's got pictures of you with like dog filters over you.
yeah.
That's.
I
I
was
don't
a
use Snapchat. I'm sorry.
I've just recently started using it a lot more, but really there's just you don't give that much information out to Snapchat, so it's kind of what can they sell really? But and just to put Snapchat's stock price in perspective, Snap Inc. is currently valued higher than Twitter, Ferrari, Best Buy, Seagate, Hershey, Viacom, Hilton, United Continental Airlines, and American Airlines. Pretty
So again,
crazy.
pretty good for an app that just makes you put little filters over your pictures and then gets rid of them.
Yep. Who knew that you could make so much money? Not really. I mean, you're losing money. Who knew you could make so much money off of sending nudes to people that expire in 10 seconds?
That then they just, find other ways to screenshot and keep.
True. Hey, Snapchat, if you're listening to this, fix your Android app. It sucks. Just wanted to get that subtle jab in.
Also, if you're listening to us, hi CIA.
Hello, CIA.
Nice to meet you. Now, I get good news and bad news.
All right.
So because we're doing this a day early, we were kind of late and had to quickly grab a Tesla news. So we
Yes.
have one, but it's kind of small, and I don't have a whole lot about it.
You know what isn't
But
small?
what?
The photo of it, because it's taking up the entire frame of the video right now.
Nice. But they opened a solar power facility in Hawaii. Sorry,
Yeah,
but
kinda like that.
Kauai. If you wanna tell me how to pronounce that, good for you. I'd
Yeah,
like to know.
leave a comment on how we butcher pronunciations.
Yeah, but yeah. So they have the power facility, and they're, generating lots of power, and that's cool. It's got a storage facility, like it has a 13 megawatts, right?
Yeah, megawatts.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Farm
bigger than
installation.
kilowatts.
Yeah, yeah. And it's providing power, and then it has a 52 megawatt per hour capacity in the total facility. And so they're going to use this, and they hope to use this to off ugh, get rid of the use of gas. And they're hoping that it can do up to like 1.6 million gallons of gas per year. And so if they could do that, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. We got all this free energy just kind of raining down from the sun, so might as well use it.
Yeah. Although I mean, like, I don't know, because I've heard a lot of like negative stuff about solar power. And I don't know how much of it is how much people are just not wanting to use it. And like there are of course problems, like if the sun is just isn't out, you're not getting power
Yeah,
or whatnot. But still,
I mean it's a step in the right direction. I mean we gotta start somewhere. I mean it starts
although
somewhere
yeah,
with like oil and gasoline.
yeah, and I mean, continuing the theme of skipping ahead this episode, we could go talk about the other solar panel thing to because they kind of tie together.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so uh, apparently, according to an article I've seen, the UK is having a potential 800%, like up to 800%, not necessarily exactly increase in tax prices for
Holy
people
crap,
who have like solar panels.
that's a lot.
Yeah, and so, obviously um British, like the Solar Trade Association over there, they are not happy with this, and they've said things to describe it as like nonsensical and absurd. But like the person in charge of seeing the bill created and having it passed, has like just never said anything about it in all that he's talked, and people are like, this is really bad and whatnot. And like just one weird thing that I saw in it is that it it would create taxes for public schools that you have like solar panels on their roofs to generate power, but not private schools, which is why we started the conversation earlier of
Oh
why I don't
yeah,
like private schools.
that's right.
It's like why are they not paying? And especially with state schools, that's just taking money from one part of government and putting it in another. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange bill. Like, why would you want to tax that much?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
also, it's not necessarily like it is, I think, a tax increase, but it also seems to be also just losing some subsidies that solar power generators get, which
okay,
is part of the reason why it's so huge.
okay,
But still, that's just
quite an
absurd.
increase.
Yeah, and that's combined with the fact that already in the past few years, in the UK, they've had a loss of jobs and development of the solar power infrastructure.
Oh, that's just one.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully things get better and we do something.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yep. In some disappointing news, Cloud Pets, which is a stuffed animal line of stuffed animals that allows parents and loved ones to send personalized voice messages to their kids who have the stuffed animal through their smartphone, um, recently had a very large data leak as of
Ooh,
last week. Yeah. So if you are a parent and you own one of these Cloud Pet stuffed animals for your given one to a loved one or whatever you may have, change your password immediately to your account. So if you own one of these, basically what got leaked was the parent's name, your child's name, picture of your child if you uploaded one of those, and any email you had attached to the account, and birth dates. So I guess nothing super detrimental, but still a data leak nonetheless. And These guys were launched back in 2015. They offered, stuffed dogs, bears, cats, and rabbits, and a couple other too. And like I said, you could send, little personalized voice messages to your kids, and it's a really cool idea. I really thought it was pretty neat when I first heard about it. Have you heard anything about these, Joe?
Um, I like not the specific, I haven't heard Cloud Pets, but I've heard of the service, yeah.
Okay. So what happened was all of the data is actually not stored on the Cloud Pet itself and your smartphone. It's actually all stored in a database at CloudPet's headquarters, or well, their servers. So since all this is in the cloud, it's there's of course room for vulnerabilities and things. And Troy Hunt, a security analyst, stated that over 820,000 user accounts were exposed, including 2.2 million voice recordings. He stated, "I suspect one of the things that will shock people is they probably didn't think the fact that the fact when you connect the teddy bear, your kids' voices are sitting on an Amazon server." So that's kind of an issue there. That many people were probably under the assumption that there was no server, but the database was left open and unsecure, and it ended up being indexed by a program known as Shodan. Now, Shodan is a search engine, as I stated, and it's used mainly for finding insecure devices that are connected to the internet, mainly through the Internet of Things boom in technology we've had lately. So, hackers ended up deleting all the data from the servers, and they held a backup for ransom, used Bitcoin. They stated to Cloud Pets, hey, if you don't pay, you get the data back for your customers. So I know we talked about Bitcoin ransom, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, didn't we, Joe?
It was a while ago, but yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, Cloud Pets was just kind of like, nah, man, we're not paying you, and they just restored their server from the backup. So unfortunately, though, the company has not actually informed the user base as of the time we were recording this. This means that account passwords are still active and potentially compromised. So not only is this illegal, but this is also very bad on their part. So, like I said, if you own an account here or own any of these, definitely change your password.
hmm.
So yeah, truly sad.
Yeah, it's not like it's just kind of a really nice service, and now they're just people like, we can hack you and we'll get money from it, and
Yeah,
people suck.
people do. Because there's one thing for like hacking ethically and stuff, but then there's just just being a dick and
Yeah.
like this. There's really no other way to can explain it. It's disappointing.
Let's talk about YouTube.
Yeah. Would you like to, or would you like me to cover this?
I got this.
Okay, sure.
So, I meant to actually put this on our thing last week because they announced it last week, but
Mhm.
I forgot. So we're doing it this week. Is a YouTube TV, a new service that YouTube will be providing. That if you pay for it, of course, and it's $35 a month for like I assume there are various bundles. I'm not sure. Are there?
From what I heard, I don't believe there are. I think it's
Oh,
just like
so
one package, maybe.
no,
Not
okay.
entirely sure though.
I don't know, and who knows? They might change it later. But $35 a month, and there are 40 plus TV networks that you get access to, like ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, ESPN, all the basics. I don't know necessarily about things like HBO or whatnot. Do you know if they're included?
Um,
Well, probably not HBO because they have HBO Go and they wouldn't want to do that.
yeah, that's actually makes sense.
But I
Um,
mean, yeah. Then there's things like Stars and Cinemax.
oh yeah, here's the list actually. Would you mind? Would you like if I read it all off?
I mean, yeah. If there's any major ones that I haven't said,
Okay. Freeform, which used to be ABC Family.
yeah,
Uh, Disney, like basically all the Disneys, Disney Junior, Disney XD.
yeah,
Uh,
Sci-Fi.
yeah, Sprout, MSNBC, Fox News. Basically a lot of different sports channels like the Big Ten Network,
hmm
Fox Sports One.
National Geographic.
Chiller, I've actually not heard of that.
I think I have. I haven't watched it. But anyway, So you get access to all these, and you also have cloud-based DVR, so that you can like record stuff and watch them. And then you also get access to YouTube Red. So if you thought YouTube Red wasn't worth it, maybe you'll find this was worth it and get access to all the YouTube Red stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, now you can watch TV on YouTube. It's good. It features 6 user accounts, like 6 different users can share this, right?
Yes.
And they all have separate DVRs. Although from what I understand is like with Netflix, although you can have multiple people having things, I think there is like a limit to 3 people can use it at a time.
Okay.
I I heard that from I was watching Philip DeFranco. He's cool. He's on YouTube. Does news stuff. A
Oh
lot
yeah.
bigger than us. He's cool.
He's pretty cool.
And yeah, like, and so he got contacted by YouTube because he's big over there, and like was able to say it first day they announced it, so that was cool.
Okay,
But
that's interesting.
yeah, and so that's what an update he had for that. But yeah, so you can watch TV on YouTube.
Yeah. It also you mentioned the thing about the packages.
Hmm.
So I looked it up while you were talking, and it's very hard to find information on YouTube TV. There's not a lot out there. Um, but yes, it's 35 bucks a month, and you get all those 40 networks. There's no like packages.
Okay.
However, you can get Showtime, which is, as you know, is a premium movie channel.
Yeah.
You can get Showtime for an extra monthly charge. So
Okay.
I think that, and it doesn't really say anything. Like I'm looking here at the web page actually. Let me see if I can share my window. I may not be. Yeah, we'll do it. Window capture. Oh, that didn't work. Okay.
Well.
So, yeah, basically, it just says finally live TV made for you, and it has like lists a couple of the things, the unlimited DVR, 6 accounts, one price, 35 bucks a month, and you can fill out like the email and zip code to let you know when it's available in your area. But then it just says in the fine print at the bottom, Showtime available for extra charge. So that's really it. There's
Okay.
nothing else on Google's website here.
Yeah. Although apparently this won't get you ad-free YouTube, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, you only get access to the YouTube Red shows. You don't get access to any of the
YouTube
other,
Red feature.
yeah, like Google,
What
like
else is there on YouTube? Red.
uh, the no ads. Outside of YouTube, if you have YouTube Red, you get the Google Play Music Pass, which is basically like Spotify Premium.
Hmm.
But other than that, yeah. So you don't get any of that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, $35. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you get YouTube Red, and then you're getting, and that's like $5 a month, right?
Yeah,
So I mean, technically, I mean, yeah, you don't get all the benefits, but you still get the main part of YouTube Red, and then also you get those 40 channels. So I mean, that's pretty good. And I mean, if you have it all on like access on your phone or whatever, your computer.
that's actually pretty cool. Like, I mean, a lot of cable companies don't even do that anyway, where you can view your DVR like from your phone and stuff.
Yeah. And since multiple people can like share it, so like you're going off to college, and like so like the group of you could just say whatever, let's do this,
Mhm.
and then like split it up, and then you'll have the 6 accounts sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, people do that already with Netflix.
I mean, yeah,
that's not entirely in their terms of service, but I mean, with this, yeah, that's actually like an idea that I believe it sounds like you can.
yeah, that's cool.
So, oh yeah, there's one other thing I was going to mention about this. I hope that it doesn't turn into what Google Fiber has turned into. Previous episode where they're just kind of like not expanding that anywhere.
Yeah,
So, I mean, they said that they hope to have it expand. It's gonna be in the largest U.S. markets and quickly expand across the country to other cities. So hopefully, no, this has a better track record than Google Fiber does. We'll just have to see.
mm,
All right, shall we head on to some news from AMD?
yeah,
All right, so AMD is at it again with new CPUs. Now this time They're not in the consumer line. This is for AMD Naples, which is the code name for it. And Naples is AMD's enterprise line of CPUs set to release in quarter 2 of 2017. Now, we already do know from Ryzen that Ryzen is very good at handling professional workloads. So with uh, Naples, it should be an even bigger step forward. So the specs for Naples include 32 physical cores with 64 logical cores, up to 8 channel memory, which basically means up to 16 slots of RAM, which is insane, and even Infinity Edge, which allows for dual CPU usage on boards that support 2 CPUs. So enterprise servers and stuff, you'll definitely love seeing this for low cost, high powered CPUs. And what's even better, if you're a consumer, you'll be excited because eventually a lot of this technology that's in high end server stuff will start to trickle down into the high end consumer and the budget consumer stuff in the coming years. So it's always good too to see competition between AMD and Intel because Intel's kind of fallen behind a bit years because they haven't had any competition.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so shall we head on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right, so this is pretty cool in my opinion. In San Francisco, a startup company 3D prints a whole house. Now
A
this
whole
is,
house.
yes, one whole house. Let me pull up the picture. There it is.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Seeing this.
Let me go ahead here and make it full picture if I can. There we go. So you can kind of see this is like the front entrance here, and then you got like some windows. Now it's pretty interestingly shaped. Have you seen the photo of it, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like round, but then has like these little like portions sticking out, 3 of them. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, now Aptus Core, I believe that's how you pronounce their name. They printed this whole house, and they used a mobile 3D printer for the walls, and then they had workers manually uh, paint it, install the roofing materials, all the wiring, and the hydroacoustics, and the thermal insulation. They also fully furnished this apartment with appliances and different things too. Now it's 400 square feet, so it's about the size of a normal hotel room you'd find. And it cost the company only $10,134. And they stated that the doors and the windows ended up costing the most. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll have a link in the description. It talks about it a little more if you want to take a look at some other photos. They have some interior photos and stuff too. And it's pretty cool. I
It's
definitely.
actually, yeah, it's really cool looking actually. I like it.
Yeah.
And I generally dislike the tiny homes thing that like have you ever watched like House Hunters for Tiny Homes?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff about that. There's some.
Oh my. That no, like just one like there was one time. Okay, getting off topic, but so they had the House Hunters thing, and they're going around to houses that look, and like this is a family, and it's like mom, dad, and they have like 6 kids, and they want to move into like one of these tiny homes, and it's like
Okay.
you do realize you have kids, and having like 1 square foot per person is not good.
Yeah, that probably would not work out.
Yeah, like I mean, like what like they're never gonna be able to have like their friends over or anything. Be like, you want to come to my house? Or like, can I come to your house? No, there's not enough room.
I say a lot, when people, here want to come over to my house. I'm like, well, I don't have people over because we don't have much room here, but that takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, like if you live alone, but like by yourself, and you just want a small space, yeah,
Oh
those are
yeah,
great. But like when there's multiple people, I don't want to be cramped in like some tiny space like that.
yeah,
But
like
this house, it's cool.
yeah, one or two people living in this. I think that'd be pretty comfortable.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's just 3D printed. Like, how is that even possible?
It's crazy.
But I mean, I do think that this is potentially like really good for, the future, designing cheap homes for like people who need it.
Yeah, And I mean, definitely, with running out of like space and things in
Hmm.
like urban settings, this can help as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it should also be noted that like this was built in Russia. So this was a San Francisco company, but they built it in Russia. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know why, but
Wonder if there's like some zoning laws or something.
bruh, I think it's connected to the Trump administration. It's the Russia ties.
Oh my god. Joe, we're not supposed to get political on the show.
I'm sorry, last week like we got to do it again.
Welcome to the political desk.
Uh that was a joke,
Yeah.
people. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, I did actually. When I was doing this article, I saw the pictures of it, and I was like, "Why is there snow in this picture? I thought they're in San
I know.
Francisco." Uh.
Yeah,
All
it's in
right.
Russia.
Into some news here back on the home front of the U.S. Oh, actually, sorry if you're watching this outside of the U.S., but on the home front for us. Um, in Oklahoma, they want to pass a state bill that would allow property owners to shoot down drones. This was proposed by the Oklahoma state senator, and the bill would remove the civil liability for shooting down a drone. Now, back in 1946, back way before we had drones, and there was a case in the U.S. Supreme Court, which was the United States versus Casby, and it was a farmer in North Carolina, and they basically ruled that property owners had rights to up to 83 feet in the air, and this is what they're basing that bill off of. However, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, claims jurisdiction over all airspace, period, so this bill may not even get off the ground.
Eh.
So, the good old American law system here contradicting itself. But some are calling this vigilante action, a risk to civilian safety due to the gun misuse and the possibility of a falling drone. And not only that, it's the possibility of shooting an unmanned aircraft could result in a civil penalty from the FAA and or criminal charges filed by the federal, state, or local law enforcement. It's unlikely this bill will fly anytime soon. But
Eh. Okay, so you're just like, can I throw all the puns in this?
well, because I did that unintentional one last week, and this
Yeah.
this one was actually unintentional as well, but I caught it when I was writing it, so I was like, I like that.
Hmm.
So, so do you think this bill will get off the ground? Oh my god, I did it again.
uh, well,
God, all right, it's late. It's 11 o'clock. Uh,
yeah, I don't know.
we've been going at this for 48 minutes, by the way.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say probably not, but I do have something I want to tell you later after this is over,
Okay.
because we want to stay away from the political,
Okay.
and I think that delves too close into it.
All
But I
right.
think we should just skip on because let's see, we have still 3 more things to do,
All
so
right.
let's get
Yeah.
these done.
I would like to say one more thing about this story. Like, imagine like an Amazon drone
It's like, here, I'm
getting
come
hit,
to deliver your newspaper, or not newspaper. I've come to deliver your package.
just get shot down by your neighbor.
And it's like, it's on my property. It's mine now.
I can imagine that happening or something, or at least like a drone crashing into somebody's yard, and they're like, "Oh, free package."
Free. Anyway, Nvidia, huh?
Yeah. So, Nvidia recently launched the Jetson TX2 platform. So, in the name of drones over here, this is a little system on a chip board that is built specifically for artificial intelligence, and it will work with drones, robots, smart cameras, and other embedded devices, Internet of Things devices, etc. It I mistyped that. It runs on 7.5 watts of power, or as my notes say, it ruins on 7.5 watts of power. And yeah, it's capable of navigation, image and speech recognition, and many more AI capabilities.
Okay.
And let me throw it up on screen here. Where? is. But yeah, it's would you like to read the little blurb there from representative at Nvidia?
Jetson TX2 brings powerful AI capabilities at the edge, making making possible a new class of intelligent machines. These devices will enable intelligent video analytics that keep our cities smarter and safer. New kinds of robots that optimize manufacturing, and new collaboration that makes long distance work more efficient.
You know what that honestly almost kind of reminds me of?
What?
When they said the thing about keeping cities smarter and safer, it reminded me of like a marketing blurb from CTOS from Watchdogs.
Watchdogs.
Yeah. Keeping Chicago safe and smart. CTOS.
Meanwhile, allowing some, hacker person that no one really remembers his name because the game wasn't that rememberable.
You shut your mouth.
Aiden. His name was Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden.
I'm sorry, the game had terrible driving. I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right. Yeah. So right now, Nvidia is accepting pre-orders for the TX2 development kit, and it'll cost you about $599 for the module and the carrier board, or it'll cost you $399 for just the module. So, pretty hefty price tag, but I mean, hey, it's artificial intelligence. It needs a pretty robust system.
Hmm.
I mean, Nvidia showed off, I believe it was at CES, their self-driving thing, which was running off of like a whole bunch of Nvidia graphics cards, like running SLI, because graphics cards are really good at mathematical computations. So yeah,
Yeah.
all we got to do is just slap a couple 1080 Ti's on our cars, and boom, we're self-driving.
Yep.
But I wonder, could our cars run Crysis in 4K? That is the question.
That is definitely a question that needs to be answered.
All right. And now making full circle back to Amazon. Well, we really talk about Amazon. We just mentioned them earlier, but
Yeah.
Amazon is moving to Mexico. So Amazon Prime just recently made it to Mexico, and to be honest, it's a lot better than American Amazon Prime. So first off, you get the normal Prime benefits. You know, the free Kindle lending library for books. You get Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Prime Music, the whole shebang. But you also get, on top of 2 day shipping on anything, you get same day shipping if you live in Mexico City. You get 1 day shipping if you live in Guadalajara, Pueblo, or Querétaro. I probably butchered that last one.
Yeah.
Um, and also, you can even order things from US Amazon using Amazon Prime as well, which is really cool. And I believe they're like waiving import fees and stuff on there too. Not entirely sure, but pretty cool. And on top of that, your first year will cost you only 449 pesos or $23. And after that, each year will cost you 899 pesos, which is only 46 bucks.
And
Which
how much does it cost here?
I believe it's in the 90s
Whoa.
for like 1 year. Not sure. Let me look it up actually. Um, yeah, it's 10.99 a month. So if you get it's 99 bucks a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot cheaper. You know what we should do, Joe?
Move to Mexico and buy some Amazon Prime.
Yep, that's what we're doing. We're moving the whole company to Mexico right now.
Okay. Mexico City, here we come.
Yep.
We want that same day shipping.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, pretty cool. And
Pretty cool.
lastly, we'll finish it off with some sneakiness hiding
Ooh.
inside your dating app. That is
Ooh.
the secret version of Tinder, known as Tinder Select. Now, Tinder Select is meant to serve, quote,
Wait, no, I got this. I got this.
okay,
Meant to serve, quote, only the elite uppers on the app, including CEOs, supermodels, and other hyper attractive, upwardly affluent types. Yes, yes.
thank you, Joe. And it's by invite only, and however, some users have the ability to invite others, and it's unclear how these people really get invited. One theory is that it's based on your Tinder ELO score, which, when I read that, I thought, what is this, League of Legends? League of Legends for dating. Dude, okay. Okay, there we go. Marketing idea. Not a marketing idea, website idea. A dating service for people who play MOBA games.
Yes. So you can have like someone's like, I play League and Dota, and then there's this kid over here is like, I play Smite.
So then you'll never get matched with that person.
Yeah. Just kidding. I have nothing against Smite. I just didn't play it
Yeah. It's an
a
alright
lot.
game.
It was okay from what I played.
They're all pretty aight.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anyway.
That concludes our news for the day.
Yeah. We talked about lots of leaks and things got political for a second, and um houses in Russia and Tinder and solar power. It's been great fun.
Yeah.
Depressing.
It's been all over the place emotion wise, as it usually is on our show.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for watching, everybody. Make sure that you check out our description for all those links. Make sure you like, you favorite, you comment, subscribe, you follow us, you upvote, all those cool things on YouTube and VidMe. Be sure to share this podcast if you feel like you enjoyed it and want to share it with your friends so they can get in the loop on all the latest tech news.
Website and Discord. They're there.
Perfect, that's it.
Just everything else in the obligatory self-promotion we have to do that we don't necessarily like doing, you don't like hearing, but we do it anyway.
You know the
Gotta be
drill.
done.
Twitter, Discord, the website, they're all there. You should check them out.
And in the meantime, we'll see you next time.